Good morning, Space Coast Realtors, and Dora and Meaghan and Amy. How are we today?
Wonderful.
Great. Wonderful. You feel the excitement? It was like, how we're trying to get. It's like a real class. We need the exuberant. How are we doing today?
Excellent.
We've already got live viewers. This is exciting. Thank you for joining us for the show today. I'm Rick Bosley. I'm your managing partner. We've got our two team leaders joining us from the Space Coast office, Meaghan Lucas, and from the Brevard office, we've got Dora. And then we've got a champion that we're going to highlight, and you're going to be our agent spotlight of the month, Amy, and then also some inside perspective. We're going to go over some market stats of what we like to do there. So if you're watching, thanks for jumping on. Please join us in the comments. Please ask questions. Please give us thumbs up if you like a comment or a topic. And hey, thumbs down if you don't. We will interact with the comments. This is going to make this fun and interactive. We are on multiple YouTube channels right now, multiple Facebook channels, and hopefully if you're watching it live, you can engage. And if you're not live, hey, that's okay. We'll get you next time. You can still watch the recorded version. So before we kick into it, this is a new format. We're doing this because we believe that there's a lot of value to be had, and collectively the two offices are a strong powerhouse. We're going to go over some of this market stats, market share. And not everyone can come to the office every time because agents are busy and summer's ready to start and kids are out and everything happens there. So we said, you know what, rather than having a weekly sales meeting or team rally, we're going to do one main one that incorporates the mastermind, some awards and recognition. We'll have the ALC meeting, and then we'll do a live stream like this. So thank you guys for joining us. And if you like this topic or this style, then give us that thumbs up in that comment there as well. So Amy, did you see the write-up yesterday? Did you like your featured story?
Yeah, of course. It's always
a dynasty. Did you think you'd be recognized as a dynasty right now?
I don't even remember half of what I read. I just remember it was funny and crazy.
Well, I believe at least in sports, a dynasty happens with a three-peat. When a three-peat happens, it's a dynasty. And I think you have gotten the triple crown. You've gotten the three-peat. You've gotten the dynasty because end of last year, we did a friendly competition amongst the ALC, the most under contract in the fourth quarter. And you said challenge accepted. How many did you put under contract last quarter?
I don't know. I'd have to look.
All right. I don't have it either, but it was enough that it was because your expectations were like, if I can do 2 a month, then you're good. And you did like 13.
Yeah.
Like you doubled what you thought was possible.
Right.
And then we created a competition and you had different agents throughout the market center of going, whoever hosts the most or holds the most appointments and gets the most signed agreements. Yeah. And you won that.
Yeah.
And then the most recent one, if we can put up, Sarah, there you go, the board here. We did a March Madness listing competition where we had 72 agents. And the preliminary round was the getting in. And then I believe you were in the Midwest. No, that was Tom. Where were you? You were in the East. There you go. The 2 seed in the East. Now, no slouch. When we look at the top down here, you were 5 overall based on last year. So you were definitely a contender to win. I think Vegas would have given you good odds. But you went through there and you kept doing your thing in the championship. When you're sitting here in the final 4, you took 5 listings last week, Amy.
Yeah.
I got to know, were you sandbagging? Like, did you know you were planning that says, you know what, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, it would really be helpful if you could list your house between May 4th and May 10th for me?
I actually didn't. The only thing I did was I did make some extra phone calls and kind of pushed some sellers to like go ahead and let's get going. I think it was week 2 or 3. I was thinking that coming soons would count. So I put 2 coming soon and I was like, yeah, just in case, Monica puts 1 more out there, I'm ready. And then I just kind of lucked out that she didn't put 1 more up because those didn't count. But because I put them as coming soon, those sellers were now like, oh, we got to get this on like next week. So they finished, the paint jobs and stuff like that. And then I think it just all wrapped up to that final week being like everything at once.
No, I love it. Well, and good thing you did because Tom put up 3, which was his best week of the whole tournament. So he probably felt really good putting up 3. Tom, if you're out there, give us a comment. Let's see.
Oh, he did. And I think he underestimated his opponent.
He actually texted. He's like, "Here's what I got," and it was 3 and 3, but he had the price point tiebreakers. And then Amy's like, not so fast. He's coming soon. Okay, so with that, right? Obviously, this is fun. This is internal competition. At the end of the day, we're here to serve our sellers. We're here to serve our buyers. Excuse me. What's the lesson that you learned around prospecting or motivation or aligning with your sellers' timelines or even coming soon? Is there a takeaway that you can use moving forward, or you can share to some of our audience here that says, hey, here's a takeaway from doing this the last, I'd say, when did we start? We started to kick this thing off March 23rd. That's why it's March Madness ending in May. Mm-hmm. But what would you say is the lesson of the last 2 months?
I would just say being intentional about, who's out there and not forgetting about anyone. Like, even if you think they're just, in the bag, they're going to be ready on a certain date, like give them a call, see where they're at. There might be a delay or they might need help with something and you didn't even know. And just that phone call and that touch can move the needle and make them list sooner or, get them through their hurdles.
When you think about the listings you took, it was probably about 8 or 9 listings you took in these 2 months.
Yeah, it was 10.
5 last week. It was 10.
Yeah.
10 listings. I mean, if you were to keep this up and you took 5 listings a week, that's 60 listings taken in a year.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
And then you add on another 40 to 60 buyers.
Yeah, for real.
You're pacing to do 100 units this year, these last 2 months.
Yeah. It'll be my best.
How does that sit with you?
It sits really well. It means a lot.
You're like, yes, please.
It'd be huge. So.
Okay, so out there, agents out there who would love 5 listings this year, let alone 5 listings this month, let alone 5 listings this week. What advice do you have for them? Or not even advice. I know you just said, don't be surprised out there. Share a story with us of one that surprised you, of a call that you otherwise wouldn't have made, or maybe it was a sphere of influence, or maybe you did one more expired call, or stayed an extra half hour at an open house, or went for the close and you otherwise would have just said, like, give me one of those success stories that you said, knowing this was there, I just went for that extra nudge. Do you have any success stories like that?
Let me think a second. Let's see.
This is what happens when you don't prep beforehand, right? This is the impulsive live call.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more so what comes to me. Oh yeah, no, I do have one I thought of. Okay, I had to just kind of look over my people and what I've got going on. I had one that I knew we were going to be listing in the future, like it was going to be in August. And okay. I kind of kept following up with her, like, how are things going? Because I knew they weren't here and they had to clean out their dad's house. And then they were going to do painting and flooring and all this stuff. I set them up with a GC, actually, Melissa's fiance. But then I followed up and they were going to be in town and I was getting vague answers. So I said, while you're in town, how about I just stop by? Yep. So I came by the house and it was on the weekend. But I just had this feeling, let's do it. And, like 2 couples were there, like the family, the brother-in-law and everything. And they were worn out. Like they had just cleaned out the whole house. And we were talking about price and what we're still needing to get done. And the brother-in-law looks at me and goes, well, what if we just list as is? And I'm like, that's definitely an option. Let me get right back to my computer and like look at what that would be, because it's a fixer-upper now instead of having it fixed up. Yep. And so got back to my computer, said 370 as is, don't have to do anything else. She's like, let's do it. So we listed it within 3 days. And that was one of the listings this, one of these past weeks. So if I hadn't called and just stretched, like, let me stop by, let's see where you're at, that would have probably just been pushed down the line. And they would have been unhappy because they really ended, at the end of the day, they didn't want to do any more work.
So what's the lesson?
Call your people, show up, really get to
show up, take the initiative.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think sometimes it's, we're going to list in August and you're going, that's okay. List in August. Let me come by right now.
Yeah.
What's stopping you from listing today? Well, I got to paint. I got to do this. Let me come over and let's do a consult, because maybe you need my contacts or my contractors, or maybe I've done a blog months ago, and then I'm going to invite Dora and Meaghan to chime in on kind of the whole listing dynamic right now at the office. But for every listing, you've got to do one of 4 things. You've got to clean it up first. We want the house to be clean.
Yeah.
And then you're going to fix it up. And if you're going to fix it up, then fix anything that's egregiously broken or ugly, right? The chip tiles, the roofs that's here, so clean it up, fix it up, and then update it. If anything's really out of date, get the wallpaper down, get the brass fixes down, and then upgrade it. And those are the 4 levels. And so as you go to your seller, you can do 0 or 4 of these. Do we want to clean it up? I don't want to clean it up. Then we have to price it as a non-cleaned house. Okay, I'll clean it up, but I'm not going to fix it up. Then we have to price it as a handyman special. Right? I'll fix it up, but I'm not going to update it. Then we're going to price it as, hey, it's got good bones and good structure and good foundation, but it's kind of ugly. Or we're going to update it, but not upgrade it. And honestly, I don't think there's an ROI if you don't upgrade your house and then sell it.
Right.
You don't need to put the crown molding on now. We don't need to put the brand new quartz and redo the kitchen. Let's just update it there. And so the lesson is going to be the consult for your sellers, not just the order taker. Right? Yeah. So good job. Meaghan and Dora, what thoughts do you have on Amy's run or the market or the listing dynamics or the conversations with sellers?
Well, I think I just wrote down two key points, right? Get the appointment, like get the in-person appointment, because that did make the difference. Not only did you follow up, but you got the appointment now, not August, right? To Rick's point. And then the other thing is, don't assume that they don't want to do a list as is, right? Like people don't know what they don't know, right? So I think it's important that we as agents offer them, listen, what if I take a look at what you did? What's this going to look like if we list as is? So that's the 2 takeaways I took from there.
And for me, it's 100% just the follow-up. It's just, if you wouldn't have made the phone call, the business wouldn't have come right now if you would have waited. And just how wonderful the competition is. It's like going to the gym. You go to the gym, and if you go by yourself, you might not go. So just the fun of being able to align with some other people and just to have the friendly competition to get you motivated and into action to move, which is really cool.
Okay, so no competition now, Amy. You still
I know,
motivated?
I'm a little sad. I'm like, what's next?
You tell us what's next.
I don't know. I think we should still keep something going, like similar. I don't know. I think it's great. I know there are people in the office that aren't competitive. I didn't realize I was so competitive, but Rick, you've always, like, since you've been with us now, like, you've gamified things in little ways and big ways. And for me, it's just like, I'm always looking for like that energy of who I was as a kid. And like at what point did we become adults and stop enjoying life, like in all these little ways? And like, why not make our jobs fun? And they are, like, so many people out there are great and they're interesting. And like, it's not just an appointment, it's like an experience every time I go and meet somebody. And like, so if people could realize that and like, just chill out, like, don't be so stressed out, like, make it fun,
Lighten up. It's got to be fun.
I think when we became
there.
I was just saying, when we became parents, I think is where I lost I got to be responsible now, because I have another human being I have to be responsible for. So I felt like I couldn't have fun doing the things, right? So I love that though, Amy. Like, it's so important. I think if we could just go back to being a kid and being a little more free responsibly.
Exactly.
When I say this to Meaghan and Dora a lot, it's got to be fun. Because if we don't go to work every day and have fun, then work sucks. Right? Now, some days our fun job might have some sucky moments. Can I say suck? Can I say suck life? Yeah. Stinky moments.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's got to be fun. And if you're not excited to do the thing that we've got to do every day, which is meet and talk to and consult and help and connect and add value to people, whether it's through listing their house or helping them navigate a weird situation or finding them the right person so they don't have to go and do it blindly with their handyman or their window installer or anything else. It's just fun. And then it's pretty cool because we get to hang out and go to lunch and throw events and throw barbecues and parties with our people too. Yeah. Well, Amy, I'd like you to stick around because we're going to do some market stats, the state of the market here. And I want your insight as an agent who's taken 10 listings over the last few weeks. You'll stick around?
Yes, of course.
Cool. Let's bring it back to, look at. Hey, give Sarah a round of applause. You don't see her right now, but she is navigating everything so we are live.
Thank
She
you,
is on it for our first time going live. Okay, state of the market. Looking at the 2026 data, this was brought to you by Notebook LM. They're our AI sponsor for the afternoon. We're going to talk about that tip at the moment there. So brought to you by Notebook LM. Let's get to... We are down in inventory, Amy. So from April 25 to April 26, we were down 6,100 down to 5,100. Inventory is shrinking, and it seems like transactions are heating up. So you've taken 10 listings, even though the market has declined year over year. Does that surprise you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Do you feel this right now? Do you feel when you're taking your buyers out that I mean, 5,100 is still plenty. We're going to talk about the absorption rate in a second. So it's not like it's wildly scarce. But do you feel like you've got to create urgency for your buyers because not like it was last spring?
Yeah, I do feel like that. I feel like most of the buyers I work with, whatever they're looking at, there's really only maybe like 10 to 20 homes that really work for them. And then narrowing it down, it comes down to like 1 to 2 that are just right, where there used to be more options. Yeah.
Yep. So feel a little bit. Dora, Meaghan, anything here that you're seeing or you're hearing through the water cooler talk around how our agents are approaching either listings with lower inventory or buyers with higher demand? So you guys interrupt me at any point there is, because I want to make sure that I bring you in, but like, let's just have a round table talk around this stuff.
I think the bigger conversation I'm hearing is I think sellers still think the prices should be a higher number than they are, right? We're always going to have that to a point, but I feel like it's been a topic of a conversation through the hallways here. Like they're just almost unrealistic. So it's interesting. This just expired. That would make sense to me if people are listing it and it's just not realistic, right?
Yeah, which we'll talk about here in a second of what has been the median price point. So now we're looking at absorption rate. An absorption rate we look at is 5 to 6 months is balanced. Now the best way, if you're watching this and you're going, what does this chart mean? It's musical chairs. And musical chairs says if we have 5,100 homes for sale and we have just under 5 months, and essentially 4.63 months, if we stop taking listings, the inventory is sold, right? So there's about 5 months. Anything under 5 months is a seller's market. Now you can see we're barely under, but if we're in a seller's market, prices go up. If we're in a buyer's market, prices go down. That's musical chairs. If there's 25 people playing musical chairs to fit in 5 chairs, then there's going to be some fatalities in that musical chairs game, right? We are fighting for it. And this is what we saw with the COVID above appraisal, the shenanigans happening. But if there's 25 chairs and 5 people are going to sit down and be like, this one's not very comfortable. Let me go to the next chair. Let me change my next chair. And buyers have those options. So right now, and it says a little on the right side, properly priced homes are moving faster than they did last year. The list it and forget it days are over because we're not in a massive seller's market, but the price it right and it sells is true. Are you finding that, Amy, that when your houses that you truly price at or below median value, they are flying off the shelf?
Yeah, they still are, kind of no matter what price point, I would say, although I don't sell like as much of the luxury side, but even like in the 400,000 range, yeah, they're priced, if they're priced well, they're getting multiple offers sometimes. So
Sorry, biting my cold here, not my cough in your ear. Okay, so then this is one of my favorite things, because we talked about on the beginning of the call, do nothing, clean it up, fix it up, update it, upgrade it. We might give different advice based on the price point here, because there's different ROI. So if you've got a house under 300,000, which in Space Coast Association of Realtors last month, there was 380 and 329 sold, that's a fiery hot seller's market. So you've got a house that's under 300,000, you won't need to spend a whole lot of money to update it or upgrade it, because the buyers don't have as many options and they'll be willing to pay more median value. right? But if we're sitting at 500 or north and there's 1,400 active, but only 280 sold, well, now we've got a buyer's market. Now you have those 280 people. They're a little more choosy. So the higher the price point, the more pristine the house has to be if you want to hit that median price point. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's interesting.
I think we've got to take this over to our listing appointments and let people understand where they are. And so we can't just use this chart here because this is everybody. Now we're going even more. And then I imagine we could take this to different zip codes. We can take it to condos versus single family. And the market changes even more. But I'll tell you, from a pricing standpoint and from an expectation standpoint, I love this absorption rate. This is economics. This is supply and demand. Supply and demand in 10th grade economics, I learned high supply, low demand, prices go down. High demand, low supply, prices go up. This is your supply and demand. Anywhere from 4.5 to 5.5. I know this says 5 to 6. Truly, it's 4.5 to 5.5. That's going to be balanced. You're not going to see the needle move a whole lot. It's going to remain flat. It's going to remain stable. You start going above 5.5, we need to price it below median price point. So the other thing that's interesting is appraisals or CMAs. So explain to us, just for kind of layman's terms. So Meaghan, what is a CMA? What does it stand for? And what's the difference of a CMA versus appraisal?
So the CMA is a market analysis that the agents should be doing prior to going on a listing appointment. Just gathering data on all of the homes that are similar that have sold in that area, and to kind of gauge what you're going to price your listing at.
So
And then
you've done a few CMAs in your time.
Pardon?
You've done a few CMAs in your time.
I've done quite a few CMAs in my time.
And of course, the more unique the house is, the more we have to get creative. But if you were to look at at least the first swing at it CMA, how far back do you go? How many days or how many months do you go back for your CMA?
Well, in the market right now, I'm looking probably between 60 and 90 days.
Okay. And what would have to change in the market right now to go? Because I know I've heard a lot will go back 180 days, 90 to 180. We've got enough 60 to 90. You're going to start 60 to 90.
So for me, it depends on the area, because it depends on which areas the homes are in and the rate of what they're moving.
Okay, so you're kind of looking at where's the market, where's my options. Why I bring that up is appraisers are essentially opinionated, paid people by the banks or private sale, but essentially what's this house worth? Independent appraisal if it's listed, or hired by the bank if it's under contract. They'll go back 180 days. They'll do a time adjustment if they need to. And here's why I bring this up. Because appraisals and CMAs look backwards, and that gives us historical data. Buyers look forward. Buyers look 3 to 6 months ahead. Sellers look 3 to 6 months behind. Do you guys agree with that? If I'm a buyer and I see a trend is going up, I want to get ahead of it so I can buy it because I know I'm going to get equity. And if I'm a buyer and I feel like the trend is going down, I don't want to give you today's market price because I feel the trend's going down and I'm going to try to get less than. We agree with that?
Yeah.
So I think it's important when we price houses, we need to do both. We need to do a CMA looking backwards of going, what is the appraisal? What's the value? And then based on that value, what is our current absorption rate? And where is this going to be in the next 3 to 6 months? Because that's the buyer's going to do. So if we do an appraisal and it comes out at 275 and I want to list it at 290, 285, I'm kind of okay with that because the absorption rate says buyers will be willing to pay slightly above median price point, or at least be in the ball game. Amy, do you have thoughts on that thought process or strategy?
No, I mean, I agree. And I guess I never really thought about it that way. And that's a great way to explain it to sellers, that the buyers are looking at what's going on ahead. If they see that prices are coming down, that's how they're going to look at your house. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So we've got to get ahead of what the market's going. Now, how do we get our crystal ball out? Through this report right here, through our supply and demand. Because I could even take this, and if we have a certain zip code, I might put zip codes. I might throw pool homes versus not pool homes. I might throw homes newer than 2010 versus older than 2010. It's important because buyers are going to look at something. So we're going to look for the median price, and we're going to look for the marketing price. And I think there's two different things for the marketing price versus the market price. Because in the last year, the prices have gone flat. When you look at last year's median, and this is just for April, so we do have a snapshot of 30 days, but median is good because it's not average. We're not having a $4 million house in Merritt Island change the average. Median is truly right in the middle, and it was 355 down to 350. So we're actually down 1.5%. That surprise you? Year over year, we are down 1.5%.
I mean, not totally.
Okay, it surprised me, especially because I've been licensed since 2011, and until recently, it was just a absolute prices go up, real estate appreciates.
Yeah.
During the post-COVID, it was 1% a month.
Mhm.
I would look to my sellers. I would say, here's the median price point. Let's go ahead and list it 3% above this
Mhm.
because we can.
Mhm.
And now we've got people who are going, they bought 2 years ago, they want to sell, and they expect to get all their money back. It's not happening.
Yeah.
They're not getting the equity they used to do because, in fact, not only are they out all their closing costs, the market's gone down to 1.5%. So how do you navigate your conversation with your buyers and sellers when they see this?
I mean, I think it just depends on what their needs are. Like, regardless of what's going on and what the prices are, like, what are their needs right now?
So kind of creating the urgency.
Hmm.
The quote down here, buyers waiting for price crash are actually just waiting to compete with more buyers for fewer homes.
Yeah.
Because prices haven't dropped, they're stabilizing.
Yeah.
So if you have buyers that want to wait for the market to crash, I think we go, well, why or how would make it market crash? Really, when we think about the market crashes, it was a massive influx of inventory, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was a short sale, that crisis and foreclosure that happened, that massive influx of inventory, which changed the absorption rate, which made it into a buyer's market, which then overcorrected that. Really, that was the last crash, I would say. Everything else has just been a correction, and we're still above that 4% median price point. So you have buyers that are waiting. What are they waiting for? Like, I'm sure you've got buyers in your pipeline right now that they're waiting for the market to get better. Those are the words they've said. What are
Yeah.
they waiting for? What do you think?
Some magic interest rate or some magic house, some unicorn that won't exist again. I don't know.
Dora and Meaghan, I mean, when people say they're waiting for the market to get better, we don't have a crystal ball, so we can't say it will, we can't say it won't, but I don't know. What's it look like? How do we overcome that?
Well, I think it's getting the information. They're waiting for the market to get better, but do they actually even know what their spending power is? So it's getting them educated, because I think they're saying that without even knowing whether or not they can purchase.
Yeah, I think it's a knee jerk. It's going, I don't like how it feels now, so I'll just wait because surely it's got to feel better. And the answer is it might, but also might not. This is data. Again, this is what we pulled through 3 or 4 different sources. But if you wait, but there's appreciation, and if we see 3 to 5% by the end of the year because we are lower, then we're going to see the appreciation happening. Interest rates are sitting at a 30-year fix, locked at 6.5. Can we get them down? FHA is going to be lower. I don't love this, actually. Buy now, refinance later. We heard this a lot with the buy the house, date the rate. What I think about that. I think that could be bad advice. I think it's understanding the rate, understanding the cash flow. At the end of the day, sellers look at 2 things. Sellers look at what's my net. What's my net? You want to negotiate your commission? What do they care about? What's my net? Buyer wants to come in and get some closing costs paid for. What do they care about? What's my net? What's my net? Buyers care about 2 things. What's my down payment? What's my monthly payment? Interest rate times price times down payment is the direct correlation of monthly. So how do we get the monthly payment down? How do we do these things? But when someone says, I want to wait for the market to get better, go, awesome. What do you know about the market now? And what does better look like? If you wake up 30 days from now and it's better, then you go, hey, Amy, it's better now. I'm ready. Ask them the question, what has changed? And I bet most of them don't know.
Mhm.
But all they do know is they don't like what it is now because too much money down or too high of an interest rate. So you have to go, this is what would have to change for the market to be better in your eyes. And will that happen? Or is the market better now, maybe in a different house, different price bracket? But I think be very careful when our buyers and sellers say we've got to wait for the market to get better. What is better? And I don't think they know what better is, or when it will come, or why it will come. This is KW, the 2 offices. So Space Coast sold 1,438 homes last month, 57 of them were KW Brevard, KW Space Coast. 1 in 25 deals came through these offices. I'm excited to see this number grow. 4% is amazing. But we're going to go to 5%, and then 6, and then 7, and then 8, because we have agents who are doing exciting listing competitions and collaborating and hiring assistants and engaging and plugging in. So great job, Amy. I know you were a part of this, and everyone else who's listening and watching this, great job for the market share right there. The playbook of what we're going to see here is inventories down, especially if you're under 300. Rates are stable. I think the war kind of made some things a little bit weird. People weren't sure. I had some people wait for that. Let's see what happens with this war. Buy now, refinance later. Maybe. Careful with that. Talk to a professional. An absorption rate. Things are moving faster. Speed will win. Speed will win. We're going to do this next month as well. We've got our May market data. We're going to have a vendor spotlight in here. We're going to have an agent spotlight and success story. And we're going to incorporate some tech tips. So now what I'd like to do, if you're still watching this or if you're watching this later, we're going to ask you a few questions. So Sarah, if you could help me out with a survey. What about today did you like? Just drop this in the comment. If we did this again, what would you like to hear differently? If you were to do a tech tip, what tech tip would you want to hear about? Would it be an app? Would it be AI? Would it be something specific to KW, or like through command? So give us an idea of what you'd like for a tech tip. And there's a vendor spotlight that you think should be recognized and worth putting on here for vendor spotlight. Let us know in the tips there. Overall, we were a little bit over. We wanted to keep this to about 30 to 35 minutes. I think we did pretty good, ladies, for our debut. I know I occupied most of the microphone, so you can shush me if I talk too much. But I didn't cough all over you guys there. I see the chat in there. So what should be maintained topic at our next team rally? Is it database growth and sphere engagement? AI tools realtors should be using, lead gen with relationships, and key pricing to get price reductions. This is actually for next week, isn't it? This is for our live mastermind. And so next week, the cadence will be from 11 to 11:20, 11:30ish. We'll be doing our awards, recognition, and some announcements. Then go grab some lunch, bring lunch back to the training room, and do a 1-hour agent mastermind. And we're going to come in and tell you what the content is about before you just show up. So if you're there just for the food, stay for 30 minutes, get your food, and say have a good day. And if you want to stay for the mastermind, that's where we will collectively become masterminds together. That's all I've got. Anything else from you, Dora, Meaghan, Amy? No? Well, this was fun. Remove that to the stage so we see our faces. And let's do this again. And hopefully the agents enjoy it as well. And if we could ever help you out in business, we are here as your leadership team to help you consult, help you hire, to help you convert, to be able to make real estate fun. If you're watching this and you're already one of our agents, thanks for jumping on. Thanks for believing us in the vision. And if you're watching this and you're not part of Keller Williams and you would like to know more about why so many agents are choosing this company and why we've been the #1 agent count company and why we're taking market share here for decades on, we'd love to share that story with you. So reach out. You can comment right back here and someone from our team will get a hold of you. Thanks everyone for joining. I'm Rick Bosley, your managing partner. We will see you in the classroom, in the office, or next month on the live stream. Take care. This is where we need, there we go. And then cue the music. Beep, 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 beep. Boop, 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 boop. All right, I'll remove my stage for now. Goodbye, everyone.